Hello everybody, welcome to How to Play Like a WAP Pro. Today I'm going to be showing you the power of the IS-7. This thing is, well, it's not amazing for damage per game, for getting wins. This thing is very good. As you can see, my win rate in the IS-7 is 76%, like probably half of that is platooning, half of it isn't, but either way this thing is very good for winning. I'll explain that later on, but for now let's go over the field mods. So I take left, right, or left. The only one that's kind of controversial is this first one. This thing has very bad terrain resistance, so I think it's better to have this. But that's just my opinion. For equipment, it's pretty standard HP turbo rammer. This thing is, at least if you're trying to win with it, this is definitely the best loadout. If you're going for damage per game, then you could also run hardening, V-stab, rammer on one of your loadouts, but this loadout is fine. Without further ado, let's get into the first battle. But let's talk a little bit about why the IS-7 is so good for winning games in World of Tanks. First of all, it's a frontline brawler, which is where usually the most important engagements happen. A lot of the time, you'll do like 6 or 7k damage in a stir, but you'll still end up losing the game, and it's because your damage is not as influential. It's not as impactful damage. In the IS-7, you're shooting the tanks which are doing the spotting, which are pushing through the flanks, and those tanks are the most important for winning. And you yourself are pushing through a flank, so that's also important for winning. Another reason, this thing can take a lot of hits, and it can take hits from a lot of different angles. Unlike other tanks, which are only strong maybe frontally, but not on the side, this thing is pretty strong from all angles, and that means you can do some really stupid stuff where you just push across an open field and you don't even take that much damage, and even if you do, your hit points are so strong that you can kind of just shrug it off. Another reason this thing is so good, it's good in hull down fights, which is where a lot of the important engagements are as well. And there's also the fact that it's a heavy tank, but it's a very fast heavy tank, or quite fast heavy tank. And that's also usually good for like dominating opposing medium tanks. Other heavy tanks are just a little bit too slow for that. Alright, so north spawn of Siegfried line. I'll show you how I like to play this side in a heavy tank usually. I usually like to play on the 5 line in this area here. Not always. If there's like 2 or 3 already, then sometimes I'll play in around here, but especially if you have light tanks, it's good to support the field, I find. And this area in general is pretty good for farming. So what I do first is I take the outside and I just preem the field. Pay attention to whether your teammates are actually spotting it or not. Hopefully they spot something. Okay, I'm lit. That's fine. This is a tier 8 game, so I'm not too worried about getting punished, really. Alright, our light tanks didn't spawn anything. I'm just gonna push up to this corner here. This is where Arty can really fuck you up, but there's only one Arty this game, so it's not a big deal. That's the one thing about the IS-7. Its gun is extremely derpy and not very good. It's not really, that's why it's not very good for farming. It's not really about that in this tank. I'm gonna push up to the next hull down after I get a shot on this light tank. I'm just trying to hide my lower plate here. There's not really much he can do to me. And I can have actually overmatch the top of his tank because I have a 130 millimeters caliber gun. So again, this gun is very derpy, so you're gonna have a lot of shots like that in this tank. I'm trying not to expose until the last second just so I don't scare him off. And I could play super aggro here. Like honestly, I'm just gonna show you how aggressive you can play in this tank in a matchup like this. These guys realistically can't really do shit to me, so I'm just gonna push up and kill them all. In fact, why not just fucking take it a step further? You can just push in front of all of them, doesn't matter. I'm gonna go ram this guy, why not? He doesn't see me, so this should do quite a lot of damage. Yeah. 700 ram, not bad. Still have only been penned one time this game. In a matchup like this, the IS-7 is just not very fair. Its overall armor is just very strong. It doesn't really have weak spots. Its lower plate is not even much of a weak spot. Damn, that sucks. Shouldn't have fired there. We're up 10k HP. I'm just gonna drive in and ram stuff because when you're trying to do DPG and you have a ton of health at the end of the game, you don't want to. You might as well just drive in and ram stuff if you're gonna survive anyway. Yeah, this wasn't really a game where I could showcase much because they just all died, but I mean, blocked 4k and I wasn't even really angling or using my armor well. I was just driving in an open field. And that's where this tank is so insane. The mouse can... The only other tank that can really do that is kind of like the mouse. Even the mouse's side armor is not really as good as the i7's though. And the other thing is the mouse is just much slower than the i7, so it's not as effective at just pushing a flank and winning it like right off the bat as the i7 is. Alright, I'll see you in the next battle. Alright, we got Abbey, north spawn, and I can already tell you this is like 90% chance we're gonna win this game, and I'll show you why in this battle. So another thing I should talk about that I've kind of already alluded to is that in platoons, this thing is extremely powerful. My highest win rate ever, or highest win streak ever, was 27 wins in a row with 3 IS-7 platoon. Playing it in a platoon just only compounds how good it is for just pushing a flank. So I'm gonna go 9-line. 9-line is good in fast heavies usually, as long as you're fast enough not to get bled going in. It's usually not a bad play, although the other side is usually better for farming damage. If you want to insta win, if you're in a tank that can push this, then do it. So 277 IS-7, maybe an E5, but honestly in the E5 I would play on the 1-2 because of its great heat pen. So I don't have much support behind me, so I've got to keep that in mind, but this is a tier 8 game, so it should be pretty easy to beat whatever is here. I'm just going to angle a little bit, make sure they don't get my full side. And I'm just going to push through here, and one thing you can do on this map, which I'll show you, is you can go underneath this here to a hold down spot where you can just spot all their TDs back there. It's right here, this spot right there. You can even do this in medium tanks or even light tanks, but you have to make sure that nothing has actually pushed past here, because if they push past, then you're kind of stuck here and you're not able to do much. But I didn't spot anything on the way in, so I figured it was fine to do this. I'm gonna quick spot, see if anything else is down here. It's a VK. That guy's dead. I'm gonna shoot this guy first. I can play hull down on them on this thing. Could have loaded HE for the RHM. Might have been a smart play, but... And I still have so much HP that, honestly, it's completely fine to push this. And my team is supporting me from behind, which is great. And I can win this here. I'm paying attention to what's not lit yet. They still have a Yag Tiger unlit. The rest of the tanks that are unlit aren't really a threat to me. I just have to make sure not to YOLO in the open, and I should be completely fine. One thing is, if tanks have like 220 or 225 millimeters of penetration or less, or like 250 or less, you can actually angle your lower plate, and they'll have trouble penning it. Because at like this kind of angle, it's kind of hard to pen a lower plate with that amount of penetration. Because the top armor is more strong than the lower plate armor. Let's kill this guy because he's an arty, so fuck him. Damn, that hurt. That did a lot of damage. 900. Could still use this wreck as a haul down if I really want to. That'll also allow me to stay out of range of that RHM. He won't have a shot on me if I go a little wider. Unfortunate bounce. Nice, that's big. He was kind of preventing me from pushing a little bit. I'm just gonna cross here. Make sure I pin my shot. A lot of the time in this tank, you want to make sure you aim for quite a while because its aim time is quite long. These guys just can't really do much to me, so there's nothing that could be up there to shoot me, so I'm not really concerned about that. I still have enough HP that it's not a problem. And I probably should have already started driving over to this flank because this game is over, as you can see. Still a full... No, their mouse isn't full HP, never mind. But yeah, this is just a free win, especially in the tier 8 game. There's really not much they can do. Maybe we can get to the mouse, but probably not. There's a shortcut here you can take. Any tank in the game can do it. You just want to go up to the right and then to the left. I would like a shot, please. Pretty good game. Not much they could really do on the 9 line to me at all. 5 kills, 5,500 damage, 3k spotting. Pretty easy. Excuse me. And it's games like this that make the i7 just so strong. Especially on more open maps. Or if there's just maps where there's like an aggressive position you can YOLO to, you can just take a lot of map control for your team. Okay, one more, well, 2 more battles. Alright, we got Live Oaks, North Spawn, this time tier 9, getting really good matchmaking. I kind of want to test the limits of the IS-7, so I might do something pretty crazy. I can't type to my team. Oh, it's this bug. No, I can. So I'm gonna go like this and take that position. I'm gonna try platoon with the grills and the Hori and the Yag to have them cover me. So I'm gonna take a certain route here, just to make it a little bit harder for the enemy to dodge me. I've never taken this route before, but I think it's a good route. Instead of YOLOing under like this, I'm gonna go through the city here and then go down. And I'm hoping, as long as I survive, I should get to a really good position where I can just play hold down on all of them and spot all of their TDs. This is extremely aggressive, but since I'm in an IS-7 and a tier 9 matchup, I feel like I can get away with it. So I'm lit. Just hope I don't take any damage right away. We have a lion. Oh, I'm tracked. That's not good. They have a 50B as well. This is bad. I'm gonna try to hide. Get unlit. Okay, I'm gonna send it. I'm pretty sure I might be permalit. Hopefully I'm not. I want to get lit as late as possible. Just really hoping I don't get tracked. I'm gonna blind that because I'm pretty sure someone's poking it. Yeah, we hit that guy. And I want to get in this area right here. Now I can't actually get shot from over there, so I've got to watch out for that. This guy's gonna YOLO me. Hopefully my team is covering. Nice. And now these guys are trapped at the building for now. Hopefully my team will fuck that guy too. And you have to watch out, you can get shot in the back from over here, so just make sure there's no one there. I'm getting shot by somebody else right now. And just like that, we got 2 tier 10s basically killed for free. Well, I'm half health, but you know what I mean. Now, when they win this side of the map, this is where you have to be careful in this position. They can take out here and start shooting you in the side, so just keep that in mind. Now I am lit, not sure what from. I'm kind of hull down a little bit. If I start getting shot by them, it'll be a problem. I can get more hull down here. I'm just worried about getting shot in the back. Yeah, exactly. That guy's the problem. He's the one who's lighting me, I think. So I'm actually gonna back up. I'm gonna try going down here. I think this spot might be better for an IS-7. Probably didn't need to repair there, but decided to. No, I don't know what's lighting me. Is it still the RU? Well, I mean, he can't be right now. Am I permalit? I would like them to spot the outside of here, but you can shoot back at them if they are lit. Hopefully that guy dies. It's really important that he does. I am a 2-shot now. Shot by Artie. Track this guy. He's getting fucked in return. The RU did die. That's amazing. That's very good. Now I'm confident that I'll be able to survive unless the Fosh YOLOs me or something. This guy's crossing. I'll be able to get a shot if he stays lit. Now, the next play, well, I don't really have one. I'm just going to wait here. Wait for my team to spot people in this area. And I might get shots on them, like this guy here. I'm going to start looking at which tanks are unlit. So it looks like the only thing unlit is the tier 9 TD and the T-54. Our guys are pushing the outside here. Maybe the STB will be there, but maybe he ran. We'll see. I am lit. Interesting. I don't know where from. Maybe up here. The Artie's gonna hit me again. Okay, good. He missed. Our TVP and T-54 lightweight are coming. That should help. Maybe the lightweight will spot some stuff like this area here just to make sure there's nothing approaching me. Looks like we are probably gonna lose this city eventually if we aren't quick enough. So I'd like to take their base. I think we're gonna win the south. If we could get that RD, it would be very nice. I'm just gonna wait here for now until my team wins, hopefully, or until our lightweight does something. Nice. So as they back off here, we do get shots. That's huge. Look, it's looking like we probably will win the south. I think I'm actually gonna go to this house here. Hopefully I spot the RD while I'm doing this. unfortunate bounce. Already might hit me. I just want to get safe from people in the city, because I'm afraid they'll take like out here in this village. Oh, I am a one shot, so I've got to be a bit careful. Okay, he's dead. Artie's somewhere back here. There he is. Miss. We're gonna win this game. It's not a question of if, but when. And you guys might be surprised that I got away with this, but honestly, I'm not really that surprised. I'd say this works probably 75% of the time in a matchup like this. I wouldn't be doing this in a... You gotta look at what kind of TDs they have as well, because if they have like a... if they have like double 4K5 there or something, it's quite a bit more risky, although they're probably gonna bounce you. To be fair, they do have some pretty good TDs, so it was a little risky. I even got tracked halfway there though, and I still made it, so... Good game. 4,400 damage, 4,200 spotting, and most importantly, another dub. Now, I didn't have to do this very aggressive play. I could have easily won this game by going south instead, and that probably would have been more reliable. I just wanted to show you guys the power of the i7. Also, it's just a fun play to make, so I just decided to do it. We had a blind shot as well. Alright, next game. I just want to point out, I think if I was in any other heavy tank in the entire game, and I tried to do what I just did, I would have 100% died. Because I was able to stay mostly hull down on the STB, because the upper hull armor, if it's angled slightly up or just on neutral ground, it's still really hard to pen. So it's pretty much just a really good hull down tank. Alright, so we got tier 9 again, which is pretty sick. I'm not going to do anything crazy this time. I'm just going to play this like a standard battle. Like, not a standard battle, but like a... I'm going to play this in a standard way, like I would in all of their heavy tanks, which is going north. I start off taking this route, right like this, pointing my turret just in case one of their scouts tries to spot us crossing. If you're in a slower tank, you can take a safer route, but I usually just don't bother because I don't feel like it. Sometimes your team will spot something right over here, like near this bush, and then you can shoot them back. So I will stay on the railway just in case that happens. And if you get lit, you just dip down into cover. But I don't really feel comfortable doing that, so I'm just going to stay low. And then just pop up if something gets lit there. I do get lit, so they do have something there. Now, looking at their tanks, they have a 260 and an i7, which are pretty threatening. Because they're actually hard to pen. I'm going to do a little run here just to see if anything's coming. Nothing is coming, so I'm going to take this position here. This position right here is extremely strong, but you do need support, otherwise you'll get YOLO'd. But we have a lot of tanks coming in behind me, so I feel completely safe doing this. Do they have nothing here? Surely. Okay, so the natural progression is usually to go on the outside, like here. I don't know where their tier 10 heavy tanks are. That's kind of concerning me. I'm hoping they're not on this flank, because they can be annoying, because they can play hull down, and I can't pen them easily. I'm not getting lit there, so there's nothing there. Oh, there's actually E75 there. I've never seen that position being used. I shouldn't have pushed out right here. This was kind of dumb. I just forgot about the E75. That position is going to be annoying. I've never seen that position used ever. Not a single time. That's crazy. I don't know if that's actually pushable unless my whole team will just help me push it. Because we would have to push into a crossfire. We need to push this. I'm just going to go and hope my team follows me. We need to go. We need to go because we're losing the east hard. Okay, lucky shot. I'm going to wiggle a little bit. I need my team to go. I'm hoping I can get an angle on this guy from here and pen him every time, so at least I can trade 1 for 1. I think I can, but I'm not positive. Maybe he can pull back around more. I'm gonna wiggle a little bit. It's just a accuracy roll. I need my teammates to come with, but they're just not, because my team sucks. Okay, he's dead. That's good. Their 260 is still back here. I don't know if he was pushing the other flank and then turned around or not, but that's really annoying. Looks like I'm not going to get much out of pushing this, because my team is just content with sitting there doing nothing. This is a terrible situation, by the way, if you couldn't tell. We're losing really, really badly. There's not really much I can do here. I might be able to cross, but I lost half my health against that E75, more than half of my health, so I really want to cross, but their Yag is there. I think I'm gonna blind their Yag Panzer, because I know he's there. We're just gonna die, and I don't know if it's better to turn around or to just stay here. This guy's just peeking, and our 2 fucking bots back here didn't even bleed him once. Not surprised whatsoever. It's like, what's the point of even being there if you're not even gonna be able to fucking help me? I'm just gonna die here. I think I'm gonna turn around. It's taking the enemies longer than I thought to push through this. There's their I-7. He's holding down there. Nothing we can do against that. This guy's gonna get hauled down on all of us and just shit on us. Nice miss. And I bounced his cupola, or his mantlet exactly where I aimed it. Yeah, there's not much I can do here. Yeah, nothing we can do. My team was just god-awful, and the enemies did a good job of pushing through the south, so we ran into nothing on this flank, which really sucks. Usually you just fight in this area, here, like right here, and it's easy farm, but when they sit back like this, it's bad. And if their E75 was not there, and I didn't bleed 2/3 of my health, I would have been able to push the Moushin, just taking the bleed on this cross once the Yag fired. and I would have had a decent game at least. But there really wasn't anything I could do there. Maybe I could have turned sooner, but they had so much stuff coming from the east that it wasn't gonna really work. Like, and I had to rotate such a long way in order to do anything about it. So. Alright, so we got Cliff, North spawn against tier 8s. More good matchmaking. And I know what I want to do this game. It's another aggressive play. This time it's probably going to hurt though. I'm going to ask my team to take the one line with me. I'm looking at which tanks will be a threat on the one line, and I can't really see a single one, really. The only way it would probably be a problem is if, like, 4 tanks YOLO me. Even if it's like 3, I honestly think I would be okay. So I'm just gonna take it. I guess if the Progetto came along with the Char, it would be a problem. I'm hoping my team, if they YOLO with like 3, they'll get some bleed in, so that I'll be okay. And hopefully the Hori doesn't hit me, because that would also be bad. Just gonna cut in. Char is already up here. Trying to get safe from the prog. Just gonna run down on this Char. And what I want to do is take this rock if possible. I'm gonna see what's here. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. Okay, bounce that guy. It's okay. I'm not gonna repair my gun yet because of that. Now I'm just gonna sit here and I'll just kill anything that's middle. You can play mostly hold down on this. The Artie will probably shoot me if they don't have better shots. I'm kind of wishing I just had not repaired my track and instead just repaired my gun. I'm gonna poke this and see if I can spawn something at K5. Nope. Now that I've kind of cleared the middle, I'm gonna poke here and see what I can spot in their base. There's gonna be some TDs back here. I have some HP, so I don't mind if I take some damage. It's okay if I do. We can get some spotting from this as well. We can spot K5. Poking over too far baited them into shooting me. It's okay taking that damage. I didn't expect the fucking Hori to be back there though. That was kind of annoying. I'm just gonna keep this guy permalit. He should die from middle eventually. Artie might shoot me. Wasn't expecting to get hit by the Hori, so that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I can still spot and stuff, so it's not a big deal. Okay, he started turning for me the second I poked. It's annoying. Nice. This guy's probably just gonna stare at me the rest of the game, which is really annoying. Let me poke more on the left here, try to get an angle on these guys. Maybe I can tilt myself on the rock, get a angle. I think I can actually play hold down on the Hori now that I think about it. If I come up here maybe, might be able to get hold down or at least avoid his shots. Yeah, this works. Should have thought of this sooner. And yeah, it's just a steamroll because I took an aggressive position that can counter the whole team. I don't think the Hori can hit me. No, he can't. I'd like to jump on the Hori if possible. Damn, that didn't work. Oh well. GG. And again, that's another play that would have been pretty hard to do without in any other heavy tank besides like a 277 maybe. I guess you could probably have done it in a mouse, but to be fair, they didn't have that many tanks middle here, so it wasn't too difficult. Although a mouse, you get bled on the way in, and it's just a pain. It takes forever, so. Another thing is you get quite a lot of assistance damage in the i7 if you play like this. Quite a lot of blocking as well. Alright, so 3.8k damage, 4,000 spotting. Could have got a little bit more at the end if I didn't suicide. And that, my friends, is why the i7 is low-key overpowered. Not for damage per game, but for win rate. This session we got 4,100 DPG and 2,600 assistance and 2,600 average blocked. Yeah, not much to say. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Also, please in the comments let me know what kind of tanks you would like to see. I'll just show you, quick scroll through. You can pause and look at which tanks I have. Also a reminder, if you look in the description of my videos, you'll see a spreadsheet, a link to a spreadsheet which shows basically these kind of videos on all the different maps in the game and all the different game modes. So if you want to know how to play a certain map, check out that spreadsheet. It'll link you to a video where I play that map. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.